Hi everyone, this is Michelle Morris here at Bombay Room Yoga, and I wanted to talk to you today about the breath. So the breath is an important piece of our practice, and it helps to shift things within us energetically, emotionally, physically, and even spiritually. It is the breath of life. It's our connection to the whole of life, and it brings wholeness within us. And so when we do the breath, we want to work on practicing activating or locking the bandhas. The bandhas are energy locks within our bodies that we're going to lock down and hold in order for energy to flow up out of the root and into the third eye. So we have the bandha, which is the mula bandha here at the root at the base of the spine. And we're going to lift up through the pelvic floor. And when we lift up through the pelvic floor, we're going to hold those muscles up and in like we had to use the restroom. And we're going to keep them locked down, keep them nice and tight. And at the same time, the breath is moving through the belly. And we're going to pull the belly up and in. As if somebody was punching you in the belly, your belly would pull up and in. You're going to keep it locked down. The Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandhas are now locked down. We're going to keep them nice and tight. The breath then continues to flow through the chest and into the throat. The Jalandhara Bandha is here at the throat. We're going to lock it down like you had to take a drink, or you're taking a drink and you take a gulp and it locks it in. So the breath is one simultaneous breath. It moves from the root all the way up through the throat, and we move it to the third ventricle of the brain where the pineal gland sits. And then we're going to hold the breath for a count of 8 or longer if you need to. And in that time when we're holding the breath, we want to squeeze those muscles up and in a little tighter, a little bit more. Keep pulling that energy up from the root and shifting it all the way through the brain, all the way up to the brain. So we're moving cerebral spinal fluid from the root, and that fluid travels up the vertebrae and it moves through the third ventricle of the brain, again putting pressure on the pineal gland and the crystals of the pineal gland. And when we do that, we get an opening up of the third eye and a rush of chemicals that moves through our body that creates more wholeness and wellness within us. The highest antioxidants and molecules that allow us to heal within ourselves. And so it's a beautiful practice to have in your daily routine, and maybe even rather than taking other supplements and vitamins, that this would be the new vitamins that we just take a drink of through the breath work, that we are able to produce that naturally and organically within our own systems. So with my practice and experience, I also have with my own practice and experience, it is also leaning back into this when I'm holding the breath. So I will be moving the shoulders back and down, and also letting the head drop back and really leaning back. So I'll take it from the side here to give you a nice example that you could see that I'm going to pull that from the root as we inhale. I'm going to lean back and drop the head back, and I'm going to really puff the chest in and kind of tuck the tailbone under. And then the head drops back as far as it goes. And at least this is what works for me and my personal journey of doing this activation of the third eye through this breath, the kundalini. And so moving that out of the root as we inhale, lifting up through the pelvic floor. The breath moves through the belly, through the chest, head back, lean back, lock the throat. We're going to hold it and we're going to pump it up a little bit more, squeeze a little tighter, and keep that going for the count of 8. Then we're going to exhale and release it and let it go. And what's going to happen is we're going to start to feel our hearts start to pump and move as it's moving energy within you. And it's going to maybe feel a little lightheaded. There could be multiple things that might be going on for you when practicing this breath. And what I invite you to do is surrender into the unknown of what is not expected, because that's where all that magic is. So we want to find that space that's unfamiliar when moving into this breath, and surrender into more of that. So we're doing the breath. Again, we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose, and we're going to hold it all the way at the top, and then we'll exhale all the way out. So I like to take this in steps so that way we can all really get it and understand it. So taking it from the first bandha, as you inhale, breathe in through the nose and lift up through the pelvic floor. And exhale out. And try that again. Inhale through the nose, lift up through the pelvic floor, pull those muscles up and in, and exhale out. Now, you work with the Uddiyana Bandha, the belly. So inhale, lift up through the pelvic floor, pull those muscles up and in, pull the navel up and in, hold it, and then exhale out. Try that again. Breathe in through the pelvic floor, pull the muscles up and in, belly pulls up and in, lock the Mula and Uddiyana Bandhas, and exhale out. Good. One more time. Breathing in through the pelvic floor, lifting up, locking Mula Bandha, locking Uddiyana Bandha, hold it, and exhale. Now see if we can take that breath all the way up to the chest this time. So from the root, inhale, lift up through the pelvic floor, belly pulls up and in to the heart, and exhale. So when you exhale, you release the bandhas, okay? So again, inhale from the pelvic floor, inhale, rising up through the chest, hold it at the heart, and exhale out. Super good. So let's try that one more time. From the root as we inhale, lifting up through the pelvic floor, belly pulls up and in all the way up to the chest, and exhale. Now let's see if we could take it all the way up to the throat. And then we're gonna lock the throat. Like I said earlier, when you maybe take a drink or you take a gulp, it's like that, it gets like that lock in the throat. You lock it there. And we just hold the pressure of that energy inside, so it's trapped in, there's nowhere for it to go. Okay, so we're gonna try that again. Taking it from the root as you inhale, lift up through the pelvic floor, belly pulls up and in through the chest and into the throat, lock it, hold it, and exhale out. Good. And we're not even going to take the lean back just yet. I just want you to get familiar with the processes of the breath in general before we take it to those last stages. So from the root again, we inhale, lift up through the pelvic floor. Belly pulls up and in, moving through the chest, through the heart, all the way to the throat. Lock it, hold it, and exhale out. Getting familiar with these locks, those bandha locks at the root, at the belly, and at the throat. And that we lock all three at the same time. Really then getting that breath to flow through the throat and into the brain, right where we want it on the pineal gland. So once again, let's try it. This time, we'll take it all the way up to the brain without leaning back just yet, okay? So, from the root, we inhale, lift up through the pelvic floor. Breath rises through the belly, moves through the heart, into the throat, into the brain. Lock it, keep it tight, hold it, and exhale out. Good. Let's try that 2 more times just like that. So again, from the root, we inhale, lift up through the pelvic floor. Belly pulls up and in. Breath moves through the chest, through the heart, through the throat, all the way to the brain. Lock those bandhas, keep them tight. Hold it for 2, 3, 4, and exhale out. And just start to feel the sensations in your body, observing what's happening as we take these breaths. We'll do one more just like that. from the root. We inhale, lift up through the pelvic floor, belly pulls up and in, breath rises through the chest, through the heart, to the throat, all the way to the brain. Lock it down, keep it tight, hold it for 2, 3, 4, and exhale out. Super good. And then just feel and observe the sensations that are moving within you. So now we want to do the fullness of that breath where we're taking it all the way up to the brain. We're going to hold it at all the way up. This time we're going to squeeze the muscles in a little tighter. Squeeze them in a little tighter. Squeeze in so you don't let go. We're going to hold them nice and tight in and keep them locked down. We don't want to let it go until we fully exhale. What we want to also do is drop the shoulders, puff the chest forward, tuck the tailbone under, really lock this rib cage in, and drop the head back. So that way we get the full expression of getting that breath to move all the way out up to where we want it to go. And at least this is my experience in doing this breath work. So my experience is really leaning back and dropping the head back, tucking that tailbone under, and really getting that energy to flow right where I want it. So that's what I invite you to do as well, to maybe have that same experience. Okay, so now I'm going to turn over to the side so we can really see what's happening here. Once again, I'm sitting on a little meditation cushion. I like to sit on a meditation cushion because it helps to bring the hips up high and above the knee level. It also creates a little tilt of the pelvis moving forward, which creates some length and space through our spine. And then giving me the opportunity to really tuck the tailbone under, pulling under as I lean back, press the chest to the sky, and the head dropping back as far as I can. So this is all simultaneous movement. It's one slow, long breath, and then holding it there. We're going to count to 8, and I'll instruct you through the process of it. Okay. So hold it here, and just take a deep breath in, and exhale out. Now imagine the energy flowing from the root all the way up to the third eye. Remember that energy flows where attention goes. So we really want to focus on the third eye right here. That's where we're moving energy from the root, traveling up the vertebrae to the third eye. So keeping our focus of attention right there on the third eye. All right, so once again, we're going to move from the root. We're going to take the whole breath this time, okay? So lifting up through the pelvic floor as you inhale. Draw the navel up and in. Tuck that tailbone under. Head back, lean back. Puff the chest to the sky. Hold those bandhas. Lock them down. Keep it tight. Hold it for 2, 3, 4. Tighter for 5. A little more for 6. And more for 7. Hold it for 8. And exhale. And take a deep breath in. And exhale out. Maybe you start to feel some new sensations in your body. The body becomes electric. It's an electric charge, a flow that moves through your body. It's a little tingly sensation, at least from my experience. That's what I feel when activating the pineal gland, an electric charge of the body. Sometimes there's some convulsing that happens in my body when I get the full activation. And so Don't be afraid of that. It's all good. It's all transforming within you, the energy within you, and all around you. So it's really magical, it's mystical, it's all those things that we're really looking for outside of ourselves that we have within ourselves, this entire wholeness of well-being within us. And this is a great way to really get yourself there. So let's try it again. From the root, we inhale, lifting up through the pelvic floor. Breath is rising through the chest, through the throat to the brain. We lean back, head back. We keep it locked down, holding it for 2. Squeeze tighter for 3. Even more for 4, 5, 6. Hold it for 7. Keep it locked down for 8. And exhale, release. And take a breath in. And exhale out. Breathing in from the root. As you inhale, lift up through the pelvic floor. Belly pulls up and in. Lean back, head back. Hold it for 2, 3. Tighter for 4. More for 5, 6, 7, 8, and exhale. Take a breath in. And exhale out. Lifting up from the pelvic floor as you inhale. Draw the navel up and in. Head back, lean back, lock the throat, keep it tight, pump it up for 2. Hold it for 3. Tighter for 4. More for 5, 6, 7, 8, and exhale. Take a breath in. And exhale out. Again, from the root, we inhale, lifting up from the pelvic floor. Belly pulls up and in. Moving that breath through the chest, head back, lean back, lock the throat. Keep it tight, pump it up for 2. Squeeze tighter for 3. More for 4, 5. Hold it 6, 7, 8. And exhale. Take a deep breath in. And exhale out. 2 more times. Lifting up from the pelvic floor as you inhale. Draw that energy through the belly, through the chest. Lean back, head back, lock the throat. Keep those bandhas tight. Squeeze them more for 2. Hold it for 3. More for 4. Tighter for 5, 6, 7, 8. And exhale. Take a breath in. And exhale out. Last one. From the root, we inhale, lifting up from the pelvic floor. Belly pulls up and in. Lean back, head back, lock the throat. Keep it tight, pump it up for 2. Hold it for 3. Tighter for 4. Squeeze more for 5. Keep it locked down for 6, 7. Hold it for 8. And exhale. And take a deep breath in. And exhale out. And just hold here for a few moments. Hold a few moments in just a silent meditation. Take a deep cleansing breath in. A long purifying exhale out. We'll slowly let the eyes begin to open, taking a soft gaze out in front of your space. As we slowly allow the eyes to rise, fully returning back. Just checking in with yourself and discovering how you're feeling. From utilizing the breath, relaxing into a silent meditation, and just allowing things to settle down, to kind of simmer, to create more balance and harmony and a coherent state of being. So what we're doing is really profound. It seems like we're not doing a lot here, but the cells of our body are very busy. And we're bringing more life into the cells of our body, utilizing this breath. We're bringing more vitality into our body. And we give the functionalities of our body the opportunity to work at peak performance and at optimum levels. So our digestive system is working just as it's supposed to. Our immune system is boosted, and we stay free from illnesses, and we are free of sicknesses and from all viruses outside of us. We really cultivate a space within us that is very strong held, that there's really nothing even better that is outside of us that we could even take, that we organically and naturally create all the well-being within our own selves by just taking this time out to spend with you, to care about how you are feeling, and to tune yourself out of the outer world and into the inner world, remembering that the outer world is just a reflection of our inner world. So we could take this time to spend with ourselves and to really create a life that we want, full of peace, feeling calm, and just living in the bliss with life. I hope that brings value to your life. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.